Welcome back, my name is RandomVictory, and today, you are watching the first episode of The Lost Games. It's about POGS. It's my first time doing something like this, so I hope you guys enjoy it. POGS was a game that had originated in Hawaii back in the 1920s. Playing and collecting with flat milk caps, and the name that POG stands for Passion Orange Guava. POG would become more popular if any cool design of the 90s, as Power Rangers, Pokemon, and etc. were printed onto them. More companies would jump on the bandwagon to gain from their success. Most POGs were advertising junk food, video games, and TV shows. The other POGs had more moral quotes, but as many other popular things, they also came fakes. So the official company of POGs would release handbooks, mats, and official POG stadiums. The handbook would state that only POGs with the official seal were approval and were the originals. But people didn't care. Mostly because it was hard to collect, and so they would keep the fakes. POGs had many different designs on them from the 90s, so they became one of the main top collecting items to get. By the time the mid-90s rolled around, no one needed to worry about banning POGs anymore, because like any other popular toy, they had already faded out. On their own they joined the slap bracelets, Furbies, and those Cabbage Patch Kids. In some kind of cool toy purgatory, at least until they became cool vintage items. And many came it may come back one day. Maybe even today. But until then, there's still going to be something from the past. Of course, as you can see here, these are not POGs from the 90s, of course, because I wasn't alive back then yet. These are Tazos, or whatever you call them in Japan, but I got in Mexico. These are collectibles, and they have different ones. By the time I went there, they were mostly all Angry Birds. Angry Birds Space, and all the different Angry Birds. As you can tell, they have little dents on them. Some were holographic. They did different things. Like the pigs would be damaged, like you can see right there, and they have like little cuts through them, and you could actually attach them. And later in the video, you could see that you would attach them. There's different designs. These are the Space Angry Birds, and they would have holographic textures too. One other batch, it had where you could win keychains, but you would have to pay 10 pesos. That was not even $1 back then. It has changed now, but it was almost near $1. But yeah, the different holographics, the textures, as you can see right there. And they had different ones. Some of them were just screenshots from the game, or they were like different phases of an Angry Bird doing whatever they were doing. So the explosion one was midway. It was like him normal, getting angry, and then almost exploding, and then exploding. So they had different ones. And they had different rarities, of course, like rare, ultra rare, or something. But some of them, the pigs were mostly common. This one right here is one phase of him. As you can see, he's tainted brownish, and this is actually being recorded over. So I'm just watching the video, and then here's him actually almost exploding. As you can see, brown, red, different phases, and yeah, they were fun to collect.
no one really plays them. They just collect them and throw them anywhere in the room. They weren't much of a thing anymore. Kids, of course, enjoy it, so they collect them still. But uh, to anyone older, like 7 or up, around that age, people wouldn't collect them anymore. Of course, I kept mine. I wasn't thinking of selling them uh, or thought they were gonna raise in price or anything. These things are literally plastic circles with dents on them, and I don't think anyone was gonna buy them. And then, yeah, you could get codes as well for the online game or something like that. They had different ways you could collect them. Of course, chips were the main one. Sometimes they came in soda packages, um, cookies. Uh, they would come in all these things. Mostly all the time, you can find them. You could find them in anything. Um, Sometimes the bottle would be stuck um, in the in around the plastic labeling, so you could find them there. And then they had different ones, of course. Like SpongeBob was one. Like this one was just a random one I found. They had many different series. Pokemon was one, of course. That was a main one. Um, Pokemon, of course, Simpsons. Another series that was coming out over there, I forgot the name. It was like this weird creatures. But yeah, they were sponsored by all those. And of course, the way you would actually play it is I don't have it in the video because I wasn't able to. That's Arcanine, if you guys can't tell. Um, Arcanine, Charizard. I had stacks, load of Pokemon ones. Pokemon was my main one. I had so many Pokemon ones. I think it even surpassed this collection of Angry Birds. It was just a complete stack. My cousin had a lot of them, and I was like, "Can I take those?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I took them all. And yeah, as you could tell, different ones are holographic. This was the series. I didn't really know what it was, so I didn't even really look into it. Uh, of course, the ones that just became blank. Eventually they did figure out that a lot of people would get these blank ones, so they would release stickers with them, so you could paste onto them, and you could stick on them, and you could have a new pog or tassel, whatever you want to call them. So it would have these are Ice Age, from Ice Age 4. It has a Spanish name, of course, because I got these in Mexico. But if they have another image behind it, but they have a main image, as you can see, that's one corner image. But if you were able to collect all of them, you were able to make a complete image. I was never able to, even though I tried in this one. Some were super damaged, some are like extremely old, like the Charizard Pokemon ones. Those were probably around 15 years old. 15 years old. These, I don't think they were that old. Probably 4 years old. They were damaged and they didn't belong to me. I just took them. You know. Um, as you can see, they were supposed to make a picture, but these won't fit because they weren't the correct size or anything. Of course, there was these another original Pokemon one I had. This is actually my first Pokemon one, and I actually owned this even before I remember. I have no idea how old this is, but I know that's Slowbro. A screenshot for either the movie or the TV show. As you can see, these are the web ones I was talking about earlier. You could go to tasso.com and you would get like codes and you would type them in or something. I never did it because most people over there don't have internet, and so I never tried it out. So I really don't know what they do. I mean, I don't think they work anymore either. And these were the ones where you could get a keychain. You would pay the 10 pesos, around $1. Sorry for the yawning. And you would get one keychain. Oh, 12. Okay. So it's around $1 then. But it was supposed to be the truck that would come and give it. They would come to the store. You would give them that, and boom, you would get the keychain. I did it twice for 2 different years, and I never got mine. And that store owns me around $2. Yeah, and I was pretty angry because I wasn't able to. As you can see right here, you can actually connect them. As I mentioned before, connects them to make different shapes, different things. Nothing really incredible. You can just connect them and stuff. That was it. Nothing really special. Different ones, and you would use that edge right there, the cutout, to actually put one of the tazos that don't have the cuts into them, and you would fling them or something close to that, like I tried to do there. You would fling them, but it wasn't the best way. It was like a different alternative to doing it. The way we played it back then, because no one knew about POGS. We were too young. Internet really didn't happen in our families until later on. But you would stack them, and then you would use a metal POG or metal tassel to smack in whatever would flip over, and you would get the image. You would keep it. I don't know if you would. It was kind of like Battle City of Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, you would stack them, and then you would flip them, and whatever would flip, you would keep. I don't know if that's the official rules, but I know that was considered a point, and whoever got the most would win. As you can see, I'm gonna be trying to do that there, but I don't have a metal one. So if you slap a plastic one hard enough, you can flip one over, as I did right there. Well, it's harder than it looks, and I'm pretty sure I got mad during that point. But you flip them over, and you just try. See, some of them are flipping over, but metal one was mostly commonly used, and there was also different ones like thick plastic ones. They were around the size of a half a quarter or half a dollar coins, and they were that thick, and they would slap it, and there were different designs. There were so many, but yeah, that is it for now, and thank you all for watching.
Well, you just watched the first episode of The Lost Games. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It took time to make it, and it was supposed to come out August 15th. So in the middle of the month, kind of. It'll probably come out whenever I finish editing. The next episode will come out on September 15th, so expect that. And I hope you guys stay tuned for the second episode. And things are going to be changing, even though I say that all the time. And I hope you guys stay tuned to watch all these kind of things. And I just hope you enjoy it.